ultimate string of choice edition for the Tecnifibre TFight 305S. Let's go! Yeah, that's it for the intro. 8 strings for the first round. We'll have Razor Code versus Razor Soft 125. I actually tried Razor Soft in both colors, Razor Code as well. So let's start with the obvious things. First of all, Razor Soft is not a soft string. It is very similar in feel to the Razor Code. And yeah, we can start with a feel. I think overall Razor Code has a bit cleaner feel on the impact. Razor Soft sometimes feels softer, sometimes feels harder on impact, depending where you catch it, where you catch the ball on the string bed. So I think with the Razor Soft you get a wider spectrum of how you feel the impact, from soft to slightly harsher. Razor Code is a bit more linear, a bit more consistent in feel. So yeah, Razor Code for me is a bit better here. When it comes to the comfort, it is associated with feel for many players, and I think when in doubt, probably Razor Soft is a winner here. You know, with the Razor Code, you feel like the string is crushing out the momentum of the ball, and then you are free to go with your own will. You are the deciding factor behind the power. With the Razor Soft, it doesn't suck out the energy from the ball on the impact as much. It's still doing it, so that's why I wouldn't say it is a very soft, pillowy string, but the value is still slightly below Razor Code. And that's why, for comfort, when in doubt, I would actually pick Razor Soft. Now to the power potential, because I already mentioned Razor Soft has a slightly bigger options here. Both strings are, in my opinion, control oriented, but because Razor Code is acting like a slightly stiffer string or harder string, boardier string, Razor Soft has a bit more of this trampoline effect. The release time is slightly shorter, and it doesn't suck out the energy from the ball on the impact. So that's why I would say power goes to Razor Soft. And now to the release time and launch angle. Because the power potential is slightly bigger on the Razor Soft, I feel like the release time is slightly shorter with the Razor Soft. I feel like the launch angle is slightly higher, and therefore I also feel like the spin potential is slightly bigger with the Razor Soft. So now when it comes to the control, it is always a mix of various things: feel, power, release time, launch angle, many things come to mind. And I would say if you are a player that is a spin-oriented guy, thinks about control more through spin, then I would say Razor Soft should be a better, more forgiving, more spin-friendly option. When it comes to players that have a bit flatter game, they have this vision of playing more through the court, probably Razor Code will feel as a more control-oriented option. So in general, I would say Razor Code still should feel as a more control-oriented option for both, even though spin-oriented guys might prefer Razor Soft. When it comes to the playability duration, you know, I think both strings have it at a very high level. Razor Soft initially feels kind of weird, and then it settles and becomes a bit better, for my game at least. Razor Code, I think, has a more linear way of how it loses performance. So the change in playability duration is not as drastic from fresh to old string, but maybe Razor Soft after the initial drop feels like it performs longer. By that I mean that with the Razor Soft I feel like I can play on a higher level for a longer period of time. However, I would say with the Razor Code, the overall playability duration is maybe a bit longer, better. So it comes down to for how long you would like to play with string overall, or maybe for how long you would like to compete with the string. And of course, Razor Code, as it is a bit more control-oriented string, it will offer control for a slightly longer period of time, but Razor Soft offers performance for a bit longer period of time. So I'll say it's a draw. So now conclusions. You know, I see myself as a grinder. I want to play more through the chord, but with a variety of shots selection, so I can make other guy think, basically. I don't want to allow the opponent to stay in a zone. So that's why I need a very versatile string. Of course, I need a control-oriented string. I need a very consistent response, and that's where maybe Razor Code shines a bit more. But at the same time, Razor Soft is giving me options, is giving me option to play dirty tennis. I can play more defensive. It is a bit easier to restart the point from defensive situations. It is a bit easier to spin the ball. So depending on how I want to play the game, Razor Code might be better or Razor Soft might be better. So they are both quite excellent for specific group of players, and this group of players are still quite close to each other. So that's why maybe Daniel Medvedev is using Razor Soft as a previous Razor Code user, because it is not a drastic change in field performance, but still it is a change in a direction of being more aggressive or being a bit more versatile as a player. So the decision is quite difficult, because with the Razor Code you lose some of the ceiling of high performance, but the low is set a bit higher. Your worst tennis is still slightly higher than with the Razor Soft, where you can play absolutely terrible, but the potential is set also a bit higher. So it depends where your form is, how confident you are, and where are you landing on this graph of performance. Do you feel confident? You can use the string. You will probably enjoy Razor Soft more. Razor Code, you want to build confidence. You're not sure in what direction you want to play. You are not afraid of using a slightly stiffer, harder string. Iga Świątek is still using Razor Code. She needs confidence. She is a very rapid, aggressive player, so she wants to be the one dictating the point, dictating the wheel to the ball. She's crashing through the ball, and yeah, Medvedev changed Razor Soft. He is more guiding the ball, using opponents' force against them, but there is a risk of sometimes going with too much power, hitting long. The sense of how deep you will play is a bit more blurred, I would say, but the potential is set a bit higher. So now decision time. Guys, I want to follow Daniel Medvedev. I am picking Razor Soft. Difficult choice. I feel like my strokes are a bit more tailored towards Razor Code, but at the same time, Razor Soft offered me so much performance that I feel like I want to enter this game of next gen strings. I want to experiment more with next gen strings and find the better performance. If I manage to find the performance on a consistent level, then this is gonna be my pick for the Tecnifibre TFight 305S. If under pressure I will collapse, then it will get out of the tournament. So that's my conclusion, and see you soon on the next round. Bye bye.